Hello, everyone. My name is Jabu. I am a child sexual abuse, marital emotional abuse, and general emotional health advocate. Do join the movement and let's change the narrative for ourselves, but even more importantly for the generations to come, for our children. Let not our children go through what we've been through. As parents, we always want to give our children better than we had. So let's do that. Join the movement, join this movement, and let's change the narrative for our children. I was I was sexually abused at 9 years old by an uncle. He had come to live with us for some time. And I think within the first week of him coming to live with us, because I remember when he was talking like to me, I was still very uncomfortable with him. I wasn't very, yeah, comfortable or settled with having him around. But I remember he called me aside. We were living on a farmhouse, and he called me aside, and so there was the main house, and then there was a guest house a few meters away. So he took me to the guest house at night, and we sat on the veranda of the guest house, and he started telling me how that he noticed that I was a very caring girl, and I was very I liked to help and things like that. And so he said he was struggling and he needed some help. He needed me to help him. But he also said that he he preferred that I didn't tell anyone about the help that he needed from me. Um, and so I said, okay, sure, no problem. What help do you need? And he took me and he said, okay, let me show you. And we went outside the farmhouse yard. So there was the farmhouse, then there was the guest house, and then there was, like the yard. Then we had a wall fence. Then outside the wall fence was where there was the fields and whatnot, and even the guardhouse. So he took me to the guardhouse, which was outside the yard, and it was empty. There was no guard at that time, and he took me there, and he started undressing, and you know, next thing, he asked me to lie down and undress as well, and then yeah, he sexually molested me. And I remember seeing the semen and the smell. For many years after that, the smell haunted me. Anyway, so that was at 9 years old, and I have no idea how long that went on for, because I don't know how long he stayed with us. But I know that for as long as he was around, that was happening. Life went on, and I thought it was normal until my gap year after um, grade 12, after 12th grade. I was at home and I was reading a book um, which talked about, so this is the statement that got my attention in the book. The statement said, if you have been sexually abused and you've never dealt with it, you cannot grow as a Christian. I was very zealous for Christ at that time. And so that statement got to me, and I really wanted to, I wanted to check that I wasn't hampering my Christian growth. So I sat back for a bit and I said, okay, Lord, can you show me? Have I been sexually abused before? But, I don't think so, but have I? And that is when the flood of memories came, it was literally a flood, you know, and it shook me. All the memories came flooding, and the scent, the everything. And so that's when I first discovered, after the encounter, that I had been molested. Before that, I had no idea. You know, if you know anything about child sexual abuse, or if you don't, um, the brain has this mechanism that it will cause the child to literally forget absolutely that this has happened to them. And it will take an event like that where the memory is jogged. But this only happens later on in adulthood, where the brain is now sure that this person can take that amount of trauma. So, yeah, that's when I first discovered that I was sexually abused. In my gap year, I was about 18 years old. So that's like 9 years later. Yeah, so I'll end here and I'll continue in the next video. Later.